doing a ton of banners, so I thought I'd go live and see what was going on with everybody. I'm gonna bring up my laptop too, so that way I can kind of keep an eye on the chat randomly. Would help if I put the password in properly, and that way I can at least see any of the chat stuff pop up. But yeah, got 30 banners to hem and grommet, so not all printed yet, so we're just in process right now. So give me just a minute and I'll see who's jumped on, if anybody. All right. Hey Osmond, how you doing? I now I can see who's jumped on. Yeah, so in this case, we're doing, used to sew way back in the day. Now I use hem tape. And normally it's not a problem because we don't do a ton of banners. So the hem tape's been fine. But occasionally we'll get big orders like this where it's like, man, it would be sure nice to do a heat seam instead and save the time and the extra expense. But a good quality heat seamer is not cheap either. So yes, that's what we do is hem tape. Are you getting my audio okay? Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the comments so I can know that we're working okay. I am doing this on my phone, so I know the audio quality won't be great. So I've got 8 banners to do here that's out, and we've already actually done, I think, 3 of them. And then we're printing another 22 that are actually a little bigger. They're actually 4 foot by 8 foot. So I'm gonna have to do those here soon too. Okay, good. Glad to hear that you're getting the audio okay. So anyhow, I just figured I'm going to be out here, kind of stuck doing this. It's a good time to jump on and chat, see what's going on with anybody else out there. We got some weird weather going on here. It was like cold earlier in the week, and then it hit 80 and rain yesterday, and today is 80 and overcast. Chance of some hail later. Good old Texas weather. Wow, 5 to 10 a day. That's awesome. Yeah, we don't, I'll go through moments where we'll do like 80 plus in an order, and then we'll go through something like this where we're doing like 30 bigger ones in an order. But I don't do a ton of hemmed banners like daily, so. So yeah, if you're doing that many, it might be worth looking at one of the heat seam, the heat welders, the heat seamers. Just on your time and cost savings, it would probably make sense. I don't know anybody that's tried one of the cheapy Chinese ones, like the less than $1,000 ones. Most everybody I know is using the big brand, like the Miller or the, what's the other big one? I forget the name now, but they're, start at like 4,000 and go up, so. Oh, are you really? You're in Dallas. So what part of Dallas? I had to run out to Fellers this morning and then over to Sanmar in Irving and pick up some stuff this morning. I didn't have time to wait on shipping. I knew I wasn't going to get stuff till late tomorrow, and I needed some of that material today, so I ran out there this morning and got it. But yeah, I used to sew. Sewing is by far the best. I mean, it lasts and it's the strongest. Just doesn't always look as pretty. And the other problem with sewing them is number one, getting a good quality, machine that'll do it. But even if you have that, it's just the extra space because you have to feed the banner through. Whereas with a heat seam sealer or a welder, you can get the ones that roll. So, if you've got the space to put the banner together, you can just roll this edge and you don't have to worry about feeding it through. So, and then the other negative on the sewed ones is, you've got the stitch color. So, yeah, if you're doing a regular white banner like these, you're probably fine. It's going to look good. But if you've got a fully printed right to the edge, and then all of a sudden you got a couple wide white seams or white stitches, it's kind of obvious. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, you're not too far. My old shop for 15 years was right there at George Bush and Highway 5 or Avenue K or Plano Road or Jupiter, whatever name you want to give it. But yeah, I was there for 15 years. So not too far from you at all, especially in Saxe. And depending on where in Garland, still pretty close. I just got another 165-foot roll of this material in because just those 22 banners alone are going to take up the entire roll. So I knew I was going to run out of the roll that I'm printing right now. Because I think I've only printed about 8 or 9 of them so far of the 22. And then plus this 8. Sorry, I'm jumping over here looking at the messages. Yeah. So Saxe's, yeah. I used to bicycle over in Saxe, or through Saxe. We'd leave from kind of near downtown Plano and head out towards, go through Murphy and Saxe and Parker, and haven't done that in a long time. The table, yeah. Well, God, I made that like back in 2008. I've got some pictures I can find and show you, but it's basically built as a 5-foot by 8-foot table. And then I've got a 30-inch extension on the end over here that I can extend it out. But basically, to make it easily moved and easily built, especially through rooms if you needed to, like in my old location, I actually built it as two 2.5-foot by 8-foot rolling tables. And I basically tie them together with the top, and then a single sheet of 5x8 cutting board, or cut plate on top, so that way they can be broken down smaller and be able to get into a smaller area. All right, hold on, I don't remember what my math was here. 50, 55, no, 65. So that's 23.5, right? Is that right? Hold on. That's what I get for, let's see, it's 21 and a half, I believe. Is that right? Why does my math look off? Yeah, it must be 21 and a half. Okay, so 21 and a half and then 43. And that should leave me 21 and a half again. Yes. All right, so 21 and a half. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, it's crazy what they get for some of these tables. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is basically all built out of 2x4, topped with 3/4 inch MDF that ties the tables together, and some casters. I got 4 casters per section, so 8 total casters. And yeah, I mean, I built it, like I said, in like 2008. I think it cost me around $130 to build. 100, or it might have been 160. Granted, wood's gone up a little bit since then, but nothing crazy. And I knocked it out in less than a day. So, and it's been great. I mean, I've had it, like I said, since in three different locations. This being the third. Actually, we built another one of these for another guy, actually. Another guy that was doing a startup that needed some help, and built one for him. God, it's probably been maybe 10 years ago now. And same thing, he's still using that same table too. That's what I get for chatting and not paying attention. Yeah, there's no question they're probably built well. I mean, I've gone to a couple shops that bought the nice, metal tables. And yeah, they're decent. I don't think they're anything special, especially for the amount of money, but it's like anything else, what's it worth to you? I'm just too cheap. I know I can build stuff, so doesn't have that much time. Yeah, I figure make it a good Saturday project for you. Just knock it out. Or if you want, shoot me an email, reminding me that we talked on here, and I'll send you a couple pictures of this table in the 2 different components and the way it's kind of put together. If you're interested. bounce over and check comments here in a sec. Probably need to go in and double check the print jobs too. Hey, what's up, T-Town? How you doing, man? Okay, so what's the question? You got a latex printer and you want to print on clear? I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, we print on clear all the time. Now, granted, we're not printing on latex, but I mean, shouldn't cause any issues. Yeah, I've got some YouTube videos that talks about doing front adhesive graphics using clear. How's the visibility? So yeah, I mean, it's obviously, it doesn't pop as well as doing it on white. I mean, it just depends on what your needs are specifically. Like I said, if you watch my YouTube video on the front adhesive or the front mount adhesive graphics, what I do on those is I actually print in reverse on clear, and then I laminate white on the front. And then we contour cut the graphics, and that way, basically, you've now got a white back, if you will, right? Because we're not printing the white. We've got a white back, and then the adhesive, since we printed it in reverse, the adhesive is on the face. So you can put the graphic inside of a window facing out in that example. So yeah, I mean, you might check my videos on that. I think there's 2 of them I did on that. I know there's one on the in my YouTube videos. There might be a second one as well. I want to say there is one that's more recent. I kind of stepped through the process a little bit in that one too. What's going on, T-Town? You tinting today, or what are you working on? I had to run out to Sanmar this morning and pick up some more shirts. I didn't want to pay the shipping. I was already going to be out that way, so I thought, it's only like 15 minutes out of the way. I'll go pick up the extra shirts that I need. So I got like 425 shirts we've got to do. Not embroidered, screen printed. I do actually have a couple more to embroider, but I think there's only like 2. I did a bunch for a company, and then they were like, hey, can you do a couple? Can we add a couple more? And they brought me like 2 more shirts. I'm like, yeah, we can. Although I've already embroidered all the other ones. That's fine. No big deal. I think I still have the job set up on the machine actually, so just load them both in and knock the 2 out at once. Stickers for tumblers? Yeah. They don't look good. I wouldn't do that. I mean, Yeah, because the clear just does not look good on those. So you're better off doing, you know, if you're going to do full color, either just do a standard full color contour cut job, you know, on white vinyl, because, you know, that way you get your white and you get your color, and just cut it to the shape, cut it to the design. If it's one of those things where you got a bunch of small text, it's going to look like crap with the clear. Your best bet on that is actually to do UV DTF, which you can order online. You can just set up your job like a gang sheet, and they'll do a UV DTF and then send it to you, and then super easy to apply, just kind of like vinyl, and then you peel off the top coat, and it just leaves the ink on the print. That's the way to go. I've got an urn to do for somebody that way, actually. So that's another project on my list. Yeah, most of the cups and stuff, I mean, you know, you can do the sublimated style, sublimate on them. That's a better option. Or if you're talking about putting it on a colored cup, you can just not do color, do just laser engrave it, which we do a lot of. What's the big head order, T-Town? Watching for comments from you guys. Try and get back and look at the screen as often as I can. But I do have a lot of these to do, so. Oop. Can't go that way, the camera's there. Gotta walk around the table this way. Sometimes it's just easier than moving the graphics around. Ah, very cool. Okay, I got you. That had to be fun on your single head. Heck, I don't like it enough on my two head. Of course, a lot of times, depending on the structured cap, sometimes I won't even get both heads going. It just depends. Yeah, can you see the machine in the shot? Yeah, you can see it, can't you? You can kind of see the two head back there. kind of got the camera set up over here kind of far away, so it's kind of wide angle when it gets to the back. But yeah, 180 hats is a good order. Assuming you don't have a lot of needle breaks and issues. I had a problem last week where I was doing a bunch of hats, and man, it's like at one particular point on the job, almost every single hat I was getting a needle break. I was like, come on, really? And the weird thing was, I'd replace the needle and it would stitch fine all the rest of the job. So I just could not figure out what the heck was going on. I told Juan when we were at lunch the other day, I was like, hey dude, when you got time and you're up here, let me know. I may have you do some retensioning on my machine. He's got a lot more experience with that. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, you didn't have any break problems. That's a challenge when I'm doing the structured and you start having random, needle issues or tension issues when you're running multiple heads. It's like, man, one head's causing a problem and you're stopping the whole job, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know. I definitely prefer flats. Whole lot easier, almost never a problem. Okay. At a good speed, running 900 plus, depending on the details of the job. Versus with the caps are, typically in the 700s, 6 to 700s. Occasionally I can bump it up, but that's probably pretty average. Nope, can't go that way. Keep doing that. Yeah, we definitely do mostly Richardson and then Yopon, but I have started using when it was hard to get the Yukongs and the the Richardsons, I switched to another company that's got distribution here in Dallas, and had pretty good results with them. Kind of at the old Richardson pricing, so it was decent. They do good. So I don't always use them, but for people that don't necessarily care if they're getting the Richardson or not, then I'll definitely still use those. especially when I'm doing like freebies for people. You know, a lot of my customers, I do a lot of other work for, so we might, you know, do like a cap or a tumbler or both or something like that and give it to them as a givey. And then eventually they'll typically order some from us. That's good if you're bumping it up to 800. Like I said, a lot of it just depends on the design and then the structure of the cap. It's like rye always seems to be way down there, like in the 500s. I think it's almost time to dump this big trash can again. Yeah, that's why I like the bigger perf jobs and the bigger wall murals and the dance floors. Those always seem to work out well for us. I've got another like 580 linear feet of wall murals to do for another church, but we're just trying to figure out the scheduling on it. It's going to be done over like 3 phases, I think, because it's probably going to take about 2.5 weeks just to print and install, or print, get ready for production. And then it's multiple walls up to 12 feet tall, blah, blah, blah. But those are always great. And I love working with, like, well, churches, municipalities, school districts. It's good, consistent work, and you don't have to worry about the sales tax crap. Keeping track of that and paying that in. At least not here in Texas. Actually, I just did my sales taxes for last month or last quarter, and yeah, I mean, it was the actual taxable amount was maybe 1/5 of our sales. So you can tell that the bulk of our sales are going to just that, you know, churches, municipalities, school districts, nonprofits, etc. Actually, I've got some more awards I've got to do for one of the school districts too. So I've got to get the glass crystal ordered, because these are their higher end awards that they do, and they're actually crystal and glass. I think the blank by itself cost me like $60 something for each one. And then we have to reverse laser engrave them. So make sure you don't screw those up when you get $70 in each one, roughly. Almost getting to a stopping place. Well, semi-stopping place. So this is the last of the 8. So then you got to hand or grommet these, and then go back inside and check the 22 where we're at. Keep printing more of those, and then I've got to go through some updated art for one of the districts that we've got to do 15,000 postcards and 15,000 mailers, and they need them like ASAP, and we've been going back and forth on art for days, actually the whole week. So I need to get in there and update that and see how close we are to getting the production. All right, so it's gonna be harder for me to see. I'm gonna spin that a little bit. Since we'll be grommeting over there. I have to pull out my next pack of grommets too. Gonna run out of these pretty quick. And it's a little harder for me to see the screen now because the laptop's way back there. But I will check it every little bit. So yeah, any questions, comments, what you guys are up to, all that fun stuff. Just been a little slammed here. I'm behind. I was supposed to get another truck wrap done this week, and I haven't had a chance to touch it. So we'll probably be doing that wrap next week. Gotta love these semi-odd size banners. This one's like 68 inches. Kind of an odd size. So trying to get the banner placements or the grommet placements. Gotta do a little bit of the math and figure out where does that really need to go to be accurate. Alright. One of these done. I think there's 4 here. 5. Come on, guys. What else is going on? Let me know. Give me something. I've still got a little bit of time here, so before I have to run in and do some inside work. Humidity is definitely up. It was like 23% the other day in here, and now it's 51%. Still not terrible, but definitely up a little bit. this one, then I can go check comments. Hopefully you got something for me. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here by myself grummeting. No more comments? Come on, guys. Nobody there? I show that there's 5 of you on here. Come on, give me something. That's weird. Hang on, let me refresh because I'm wondering if my view went. Ah, there you go. Do I make my ground spots after printing? I print with onyx. Yeah, you can. I do add them after. I don't use onyx. I'm not a fan of onyx. Onyx is slow compared to Flexi for me for rip. And keep in mind that we always do this on the back of our banners. So we're printing our logo and kind of some marketing material on the back of the banner. So there's not an automated way to do spacing on that because it's inset on what we do. But I could do it. We've done it in the past, actually. It's just, I don't find it takes me that much time to do it the way we do it. So I haven't made a change in a long time to try and go back to that. Yeah, because Flexi will do the same thing, but again, you know, it's kind of, it's designed to be within, you know, you kind of tell it the hem, right? Like you do in a 1-inch hem, and it puts the mark within the 1-inch side. Well, the problem is that for me, that's actually here, not here. So I won't be able to see it. I really need to do a bigger offset for that to work properly. And I haven't seen the ability to do that in their software. So it's like, yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth messing with it. Now, if it's standard size stuff, like I've got a couple templates set up for like standard sizes that we do a lot, that I can just lay on top of my, lay on top of my art. And that way, you know, it's set up, but when you're doing odd sizes like this, man, it's not really worth it. On the 8-foot ones, you know what, actually, now that you mention that, I should have done that on the 22 8-foot ones because I do have a template for that. I've done those, but I didn't do it this time. I just didn't think about it. So, yeah, that would have been smart. When we do the smaller 2x3s, we do that. But again, when we're doing those, we're usually doing like between 60 and 80 at a time. So, you know, if I know I'm doing a bigger quantity, then it's worth the time to do that. Yeah, I'm about out of my grommet backs. It's always weird. I always seem to have a crap ton of the males, but the females I run out of really quick. So I don't know if manufacturers just not giving them to us in the right numbers or what. Because I can't think I'm losing as many as I don't have. Of course, that box has been a collection over the years, so, you know, if I get an extra, if I'm missing, let's say, 20 or 30 each box, then by the time I get to this point, this is years and years of it, so Oh, I need to go look and see if there's more comments I'm missing, don't I? Sorry about that. I kind of rambled for a bit and then stopped. It's website is just buygrommets.com. B-U-Y grommets, Grommes, igrommets.com. Yeah, I buy my grommets from them and my presses from them. This is like I've had other friends buy these too. This one's lasted me. I bought one of the cheapy ones back in 08. It lasted me about 3 years before the extrusions cracked. This one works way better. So yeah, look at the orange one that's shaped like this. It's cheap too. It's almost as cheap as like the Amazon ones, but it's better. And you don't have to put as much pressure on it either when you're doing your pressing. Alright, let's see. 4 more and then we got to move on to the next project inside, going over the design stuff for all those flyers. There's 15,000 flyers and 15,000 postcards. And probably pull the roll of all the banners that are currently on the roll, the take-up roll out here so I can break them apart and start hemming those while we print the rest. I gotta do, we did, I don't remember if I showed you if you were watching our live when we were live, but you know, we did that window perf at the elementary school a couple weeks back. And because they've got so much light behind the graphics, you know, in the school, you can't really even see it that great. So we're going to go back and we're going to do a, we're going to go back and tint the inside of the glass so they can still see out behind the perf, but it'll give the perf something to pop off of. Only issue is that it's a security window, so it's already got security film on, so we just got to be a little careful. All right, so these can get rolled up. That reminds me, I got a bunch to laminate over there too that I got to do. Let's get ourselves to a stopping point out here for the minute. Yeah, you're welcome. Try that press. They've been good. I mean, I've been buying from them for probably 10 plus years. I know 10 plus years actually. It's been more than that. Buy all my grommets from them, etc. All right. So let's go inside. See if anybody still stays on. This is going to get a little jerky because I'm going to take this off. And we're going to go wandering. Actually, hang on one sec. I got to put this down. And then, actually, let me grab this. Yeah, that'll work. Whoop, I'm blocking the camera when I hang on. Let me move my hand. There we go. That's better. Sorry, I had my hand over it. Couldn't quite see what I was doing. There we go. Now, let's see where I'm at here. Let me get on the computer. Delete job, no. Your session's about to expire, no. All right, where am I? Sorry, I'm gonna look over on my main screen here, see where things are at. Actually, let me bring up YouTube so I can see any of the comments. Let me mute it. I want to hear myself. Delayed. All right. Osmond, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. And this thing is just a little loose. Oh, I see. Hang on. Is that a little better? It's just kind of hard for me to look up there, but that's weird. My YouTube's not coming up on here. There it goes. Yeah, like I said, give him a shot and tell me what you think. Yeah, I do have updated files. So I'm probably gonna have to go so I can focus on the design stuff. Since I don't have you guys on my OBS, I can't share the screen and do that kind of thing with with my live, since I started here on the phone. But anyhow, I appreciate all you guys stopping by, saying hi. Like I said, hit the like, obviously subscribe if you haven't. I'm sure you have. I might come back on later. We'll see. If you guys got any questions, comments, etc., just let me know. Leave them below or send me an email. What's up, AD? Just about to finish up here. Had a customer today looking for a price for 5. Oh, wow. That's exciting. Yeah. And he probably wanted it today, right? That's always the challenge. So that's like, I've got this order. One of the ones I've got to do for the school district is it's one of the French folds, which it's kind of tricky to get the art laid out right for a French fold, but that's what they're basically wanting. So it's an 11 by 17 that's French folded. So fold it over in half and then fold it in half that way. And then it's got to be tabbed because they're going to do a mailing with it. So 15,000 pieces. So I'm about to mess with that. It's one of the things I got to work on right now is the updated art for that. Because they're wanting it ASAP. Good luck. And then I've got 200 Coroplast signs that are starting maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I got to try and get those done for early mid next week too. So, and it looks like I got another dance floor quote to do as well. Another dance floor wrap. So anyhow. So I hope you guys have a great one, and I will talk to you guys next time. Keep an eye out for any other lives, so hit that sub if you haven't. You guys have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.